s- told told to myself that this is what I'm going to do, because it pushed my mind, it pushed my body, and it kind of gave me the it gave me the option of doing something for myself where I can work on myself, not with other people or anything to do with so many things which depend on so many people. But of course, this also needs people, but it became more of self working and self improvement where I could really shine myself in the sport.
Right. No, thanks for sharing that, Surya. And full credit to your parents out there, because I know it's not easy, and especially in the Indian system, teachers can be very judgmental in the wrong way, and it can really, really affect the kid if the parents are not supportive. And I'm really glad your mom and dad were there for you. And for those, just to give an example to everybody, I used to help run a gaming cafe in Indranagar in Bangalore, right? One of the guys in the Counter Strike team over there was a practicing doctor at Manipal Hospital.
Oh, wow.
His parents turned up at the gaming cafe, threatening police action on the cafe because apparently we are ruining their son, and his career. So it doesn't matter even if you become a doctor and you're employed with Manipal Hospital. Sometimes Indian parents, they just don't understand what it is to pursue your dream or pursue your passion. But your parents being there for you through all those years of your childhood, just hats off to them. I just had to say that.
Definitely, definitely. I think the one thing I would like to tell about my parents is they themselves are completely artistic people.
Hmm.
They have so much of options of for them. They had so many options for themselves, and they took the hard road because, as you said, it's not easy to take something of your own in India. Now it's
Right.
completely changed. The things are changing, but back then it was like just saying like, oh, if you're not going to listen to us, your life is just finished. But my mom and dad, you know uh, they worked their asses off and really really worked hard to come up to where they are today, and to provide us, not just provide, but to give us knowledge on how to live. You can do whatever you want. Especially my mom was so much open to so many things. So the major thing was she tried to put me in so many different classes, and she the reason why I know swimming very well today is because of her, because she would take me and throw me into the pool, and the coaches would look after me and make sure I would scream the living hell out of myself, and I was like, I didn't want to swim, blah blah blah. But I eventually kind of got a hold of it. And then
Mhm.
my mom tried to put me in so many different things, like swimming is one of them, skating, horse
Mhm.
riding. And
Wow.
my mom did try the first martial arts class I joined was in one of the schools where I shifted, that was B&M school.
Mhm.
And I started doing kung fu. Kung fu was my first martial art which I started off. And
Mhm.
my mom tried. I did my before I moved to Muay Thai. After my 10th
Right.
grade, I didn't know what to do, so my mom put me into animation because I'm good at drawing and my parents are artistic too. So
Right.
I had so many options provided by my parents, which
Mhm.
I don't think anyone else could ever get it if they're really not open.
Right.
And I think I'm really really glad and I'm really grateful that my parents, not just for me, even my sister, my sister is a playback singer right now in India, like one of
Right.
the big KGF 2 last song, which is I think you guys might know the last song which is there, the monster song. So my sister sang that song, and they gave us an open door to see what we can do for ourselves. And
Right.
today if I'm doing Muay Thai, it's them, because they had the open mind to say, okay, fine, do it, because it's a brutal sport. It's not an easy sport. Combat sports, even if you take MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, it's not an easy sport, because you're putting your body and you're deteriorating your body in a very slow pace, and you're putting so much work. You're gonna have breaks, you're gonna have a lot of issues, you're gonna have pains. And some parents cannot see their kids go through that process, and they would immediately say, you're not going to do that shit, no way.
Right.
But they gave me the option of do what you want, and I'm
Mhm.
really grateful that I have such parents who gave me an open door to go through so many things.
Right. No, yeah, you've been very lucky, and I'm glad to hear, they've given you the opportunity to do that, because unless you show a child all the possibilities, how can a child know what he wants to do? And the fact that you are allowed to see all those things, I'm glad it worked out for you, and it worked out for Indian Muay Thai in general, because had they not done that, I
Definitely.
don't think an Indian Muay Thai would be where it was today. So there's a butterfly effect out there.
Yes, definitely.
Right. Great. So yeah, Surya, I do see, although I've not seen a feed, of late, but typically you would always have a small clip about you rescuing a snake or feeding a monkey or a stray dog, a puppy somewhere, and you've been doing that a lot. Do you do that just on your own free will, or are you with some organization which does that?
See, there's so many people on their own because for me, I was doing this from a very young age, and I was like completely into wildlife and really the snake rescuing and stuff like that came up a little later because
Hmm.
I had to really know and really have to have certain amount of knowledge and like because there's so many snakes out here and there's so
Right.
many animals which can be dangerous also. Let's keep snakes like snakes. We have so many venomous snakes and there's so many non-venomous snakes, and
Right.
we need to have the knowledge of differentiating and identifying each snake. So
Mm.
for that I would really like to thank Sanjeev Padnekar, and he's the uh, director and the owner of Prani the pet sanctuary in Somnalli, Bangalore. So
Okay.
my mom was, as I was saying, my mom tried to put me in so many different things, and she tried to also get me into so many organizations where there's so many wildlife enthusiast people where I could work, but
Right.
I was too young for it, and they didn't want to take me in. But Sanjeev was also a young guy who was looking for himself to mm, put up a name for himself in wildlife and conservation, and that
Mm.
was, I think this was about 14 years back. I met him, and
Hmm.
he started teaching me. I was going around with him, so he gave me so many information, so many things to learn, and I'm really glad that I got to meet him and I could learn so many things from him. So I am doing it by myself, but through
Hmm.
his help I get to do so many options because he's well known in the industry, like conservation and wildlife scene. So
Hmm.
I got to have so many contacts where I could go meet these guys. I could ask them, get permission for me to do rescues and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
regardless of the like snake rescues, I was completely into having pets at home. So I had a mini zoo at back home, back in the days, and I had like 50 pigeons,
Oh,
and I
wow.
had hamsters. I had birds. I had some snakes. I had iguanas. I
Mm.
had salamanders, but I was not so much taking care. Excuse me, taking care of it in the right way because I was young. I was still learning and everything,
Mm.
but even that kind of faded away a little because I was traveling a lot and everything. But then that's when I turned into rescuing because I get the opportunity to rescue snakes from the houses they would have entered the house, and also not just rescue the snake but also educate the people about snakes because so many people have misconceptions about snakes. Oh, they're inside my house, but they don't know the real reason why they're inside their house. Why are they coming here? And there's so many things to it where I get the opportunity to educate the people and kind of give awareness to them.
Right. And I'm glad you're doing that, and I would like to point out one thing. I keep telling people that anybody who fights and when fights at a high level typically has a very high level of intelligence just to understand what to do in a fight, and that kind of reflects in your hobby, or hobby may not be the right word, but your interest in rescuing snakes, because it's not easy to identify snakes, especially in India, because some snakes have evolved to look like others. So unless you're really trained, what snake is what, and you're able to handle them as per their behavior, it's very tough. So, you know, uh, to everybody back in the day who told that you would not amount to anything, intelligence is very subjective, and it's very, uh, field dependent. And you don't need to be good at book studies, is something I would like to tell any youngster who's watching this, to be actually intelligent. You may suck at math, but you will be very, very intelligent in something else. So yeah. Oh, there's a lot of disturbance, right?
It's echoing.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the connection. Do you want to rejoin and check, Surya?
Yep.
Because I have a
Yeah.
feeling your net connection is yeah.
Is my voice
So
echoing?
we'll just wait for Surya to. It's echoing a little bit, but there's a lot of disturbance in between. I'm not sure why. It's almost as if your mic is getting scratched or something. So let me just drop you for a minute. Why don't you just quickly rejoin?
Yep. Do I have to leave the stream? It says leave stream.
Yeah, I'm just dropping you from the stream. Can you just rejoin now? And a person who's able to identify and rescue snakes, a person who's able to perform at a very high level in Muay Thai, it clearly indicates that he's a very intelligent person, as opposed to what was told to him through his entire childhood up to 10th. I'm hoping we,